All right.
Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest episode number 57. The rounding up July, the first month of summer.
Is it the
officially.
end of July?
Pretty much.
Almost.
Yeah, I think our next
It
episode
feels
is going
like
to be in
summer.
August.
It's like 98 degrees here.
It is hot outside.
Which is a temperature and also my favorite band.
98 degrees. Old Nick Lachey. It was like 102 in Sac yesterday. I was like, damn, it's 7 o'clock and it's still hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's your weather
Woke
update.
up. It was 10 a.m. and I was like, it's like 80 degrees. It's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What the hell? Also,
Bring back the rain.
You guys have air conditioning though, right?
We personally, me, yes.
But most
I don't think Dado and Danielle does. Yeah, most houses in Washington, they just don't put
Is it
AC.
like straight up optional even for new houses where they're like, well, you can save some money by not having the AC installed? And it'd be like,
yeah, you have to pay to have, you have to specifically ask for it. It's
oh boy.
I mean, so it could be 2 weeks of hot weather. It could be 2 months. But let me tell you, those 2 weeks sitting in an office with a bunch of computers and screen monitors where it's like 90 plus degrees. No.
Well, yeah. Thank goodness global warming is a hoax, right? Bullet dodged. Am I right or am I right?
Do people use like window air conditioners at least?
They do, yeah. Or some people just suffer through it and then they get over it and then they're like, oh, well, don't need it now.
In my office, like even if it's 70 degrees outside, it just gets hotter and hotter. Like as I sit in here, because like there's multiple computers and the monitors and like, various other pieces of electronics that are all producing heat. And like if it goes untouched, like if I just close the door and just let it heat up, it's like a ramp. It'll just keep going. I don't know when it would stop, to be honest with you. Like eventually I think things would start to thermally shut down.
Yeah, I've got it set up in the house where only the upstairs gets the AC, and I've shut off all the vents except for my office. So
really?
It only
like
pumps in our place or my office. Yeah, yeah. Mainly because it's a rental. I'm not going to install a what is it, the two thing. You know what I'm saying? The
mini split.
Mini split. There it is. Thanks, Briar.
Yeah,
for your professional
I've thought about
AC
doing
consulting.
that. But my office is like on top of a garage, so like I'd have to route it like really far, or like have the AC unit in the front of the house, which is not acceptable.
Yeah.
So HOA would be like, nope.
Yeah.
Good luck. HOA gets mad.
I don't have.
Although they've backed off since COVID, I haven't seen them at all.
Did they?
They're stuck inside.
No.
Did they catch the Rona?
I'm not going near any of their houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from the affected houses. But see, this is why AC companies make so much money, because people get hot and they're like, crap, I need AC, and they buy it. So if they don't, they forget about it and they're like, we're fine.
Yeah.
But they will boost you up like $2,000 extra in the summer.
Yeah.
Pro AC buying tips.
True.
Next year.
Yeah. And speaking of air
Wait
conditioning,
until winter.
Speaking of air conditioning and HOA, feudal Japan. Am I right? I've been breaking doors down.
Oh, yeah. Boy, what a transition.
I've been
so natural.
I've been pissing off
AC, not Assassin's Creed.
I've been pissing off so many HOAs with all the doors I've been breaking in Ghost of Tsushima. It's great, honestly.
And there's actually a lot of windows. We're not just bringing it up. We're not just bringing it up because it's great. There's something to talk about.
Yeah, so
I often, when I enter a house in that game, I often cannot be bothered to hit the R2 button to like open one of those, paper doors. Mm-hmm. And if there's a window available, that's how I'm getting in. It reminds me of PUBG when they added the break glass option.
Briar, have you not just been slicing the doors open?
I didn't know you could do that until just this minute.
Briar!
Oh, no.
I have destroyed almost every door in Japan.
So wait a minute. Like instead of hitting R2 to slide the door open, you just slice it.
And it looks badass.
Oh god damn.
And every time you do it too, the NPCs that are like having their tea or sake in there, they're like, well, he's the ghost. What are you gonna do?
I mean, we didn't make the door out of paper. What did we expect?
He's like, could be the Mongolians. Could be worse.
In a world where
Exactly.
everybody is walking around with a sword, maybe paper wasn't our best option for a security system.
Especially when you're in my world. That's very dishonorable. It's very cold, very rainy. You
Cold,
need that
dishonorable world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to save spoilers.
I've chosen the route of honor in a video game, and Watts is choosing the
That's
route.
what I said.
That's
I
funny.
tweeted. I was
Yeah.
like, "Can you believe that this video game thinks Briar is more honorable than us?"
There is something wrong here.
So we're definitely going to save spoiler talk for next week when Eric's is back, because Eric's is not here right now for audio listeners who can't
At
see.
least next week. Good Lord, this game is long.
Yeah.
It's very long.
Yeah.
I look at the map and I'm like, "Oh Lord,
Yeah.
I got a lot to do."
But we wanted to just check in and make sure that we still like the game. You know, did suddenly we start playing as Kodokan halfway through because we got to like have his side of the story and get his perspective and his humanity of why he's invading feudal Japan and being such an asshole. We'll save that for next week. Those spoilers right there.
Well, yeah, we might end up burning people alive next week. Who knows? Uplifting and happy gameplay experience.
Yeah, I'm like about halfway through Act 2, I think. I maybe have a mission or two left of Act 2, and then I'll be in Act 3. And I've been still loving it. It's amazing. Even in like the new act or the second zone, it's amazing how much change in scenery, yet still feeling like Japan. Yeah. It's impressive what they've done. Yeah.
Yeah, I've stopped doing a lot of the side quests though. I've started to kind of golden line this one.
It opens up stuff for sure. Where are you right now, Briar? What act?
I'm in Act 2 still. I got to Act 2 pretty quick last week, but I'm still in Act 2. I actually went back to the original kind of biome or the original kind of area and did some side quests to get some stuff that I missed.
Some
and then
badass material.
Back to So
the side quests, man, they give you armor, they give you cosmetics.
They're great. Yeah.
Yeah. They mark which ones give you the good stuff up front too, so like
the
which
mythic
ones to do.
The mythic stuff, yeah.
Like some of them give you, you'll just get like some like reputation and you'll get like some materials. Some of them give you like game-changing items.
Yeah. The charms.
Oh yeah.
That parry charm.
And
it's been really good.
Which we may need and be more significant because there's a new lethal mode coming out.
Yeah.
And one of the things it does is it tightens the timing on parrying and perfect dodging and stuff. So that charm, I didn't think, I was like, I probably don't need it and don't really need it for anything. It's cool, but I might actually want to pick it up because if the timing's going to be tighter, then lethal, it might be worth it. So yeah, there's a new game mode coming out called Lethal Mode. It is a step above hard. So not only are enemies going to do more damage to you, they're going to be more aggressive, but you also do more damage to them. So it's a more, I guess, realistic experience of someone slashing you with their sword.
Anybody's health is affected. Like everybody has the same amount of health, but all the attacks do more damage. Yeah, so it'll be faster combat, which is I think is cool.
It is cool. Oh, and they
also added a low intensity combat mode.
They did,
which turns most of the unblockable enemy attacks into blockable ones. Just everything's just a little easier for people who are having troubles with the game. Also, the stealth stuff is pulled back. Your enemies will detect you more slowly. Enemies won't attack you when you're using resolve healing, stuff like that. So if you're having trouble, I wish they were doing this like really granularly. I don't know how to say that word. Kind of like Last of Us, where you could really kind of pick which options that you want to turn on. Because for me, I would turn on the combat to make it like really brutal and like really fast and hardcore. But I would turn the stealth stuff all the way on its easiest because I don't like stealth.
Yeah.
Well, these new modes are really interesting because, like I might pick up that charm and use that charm. I might go back to using the Ronin armor so that they don't detect me quicker. I might change up my charms and have ones that make me more sneaky because they detect me faster. So I'm really excited I didn't beeline it and I can do this lethal mode during the first playthrough.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you guys using a lot of different armors? Like, are you switching up armors depending on what you're doing?
It's strictly been cosmetic for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the certain stuff does certain things, like the traveler set.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
it shows more of the map, and your controller buzzes when you're near an item or certain items, or some things just give you more defense and more attack power.
I've been using Clan Sakai armor. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I've been using that armor ever since I got it because it looks badass.
It does look really good.
It's got an incredible bonus of giving you extra standoff streaks. So I have 5 total potential standoff kills with it.
Yeah.
Which I love. But more importantly, I just look like a freaking samurai demon. And
you do.
Yeah. I'm going to go with samurai demon.
I really like how when you upgrade them, the armors, they visually upgrade as well. So you upgrade the stats on them, but they also visually change. Yeah. And they get more badass mostly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool game, man. It's a really cool game.
There's more and more builds that you start realizing you can do. And again, with lethal mode, it's going to make me spec even harder into stuff. Like right now I'm using one where my ghost weapons do 20% more damage, plus I'm wearing the armor where ghost weapons do more damage, and I can throw 5 kunai. So
nice.
You can throw 5?
I can throw 5.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So guys, last week I talked about the Analogue Pocket, or how Analogue was announcing something today. So I woke up, got ready. It was at 8 a.m. your time, 11 a.m. my time, which meant I have to wake up early, right? Log in, I'm watching the store, making sure everything is all set. And they announced that pre-orders go live next week on Monday.
Giving you a little catch and go there for you, huh?
Yeah, seriously, it was messed up. But they also announced a ton of new information about the Analogue Pocket. So if you're not familiar with the Analogue Pocket, real quick, I'm gonna describe what this thing is. It's a retro game console that uses an FPGA chip, and it actually has 2 FPGA chips in it. Similar to a Mister or an Analogue NT Mini or an Analogue Super NT. So you can program the hardware itself to act like the original hardware, that of a Game Boy, an NES, or something like that. With the Analogue Pocket, it's really centered around portable games, like old school. So Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Neo Geo, Pocket Color, Game Gear, like stuff like that. This thing's going to emulate. It has cartridge slots for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And then they're also selling cartridge slot adapters for the Atari Lynx, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and the Game Gear. But what's really interesting about this thing is that most people suspect that there will be an unofficial firmware, like there has been for most of Analogue's products in the past, that will let it play things like NES games, Super Nintendo games, Genesis games, maybe even like Neo Geo games. What they announced today is that they're actually opening it up to outside development so that people who, for instance, develop for the Mister will be able to port their cores over to this device, which is very interesting because now, you'll have a really nice and well-built FPGA that can run, all those cores that we're used to seeing over on the Mister, we suspect, right? This thing is really cool because not only is it portable and it has like an awesome screen, like a super high resolution screen, that's also variable refresh rate, which is cool.
That is cool.
But it also has a dock that you can plug in, HDMI or analog connections to hook up to a TV or capture card. It's really cool. But pre-orders go up on August 3rd, but the thing's not coming out till May 2021.
Ooh.
Damn.
So it costs $199. Then it's another $100 for the dock, and then there's a bunch of different accessories, and you're gonna want a bunch of them. So I would expect to spend at least $400 on this thing.
Briar.
And that's just $400 that's sitting out there till May.
Briar, I'm gonna say what Hugo said in chat. I'm starting to think it would be less expensive for you to actually build a time machine and travel back to the 80s to play these games.
You might be right.
May 2021. Whew.
Yeah, that's a long wait. I mean, it was supposed to come out this year, but this year is well shit, Deej. The whole year.
It is, yeah.
That is true.
So are you going to be setting your alarm clock? Ready to go?
I mean, yeah, because I'm really excited for this, but I'm not happy about the fact that they're taking pre-orders now and holding that money till May.
Yeah, it's not like a down payment. Then you fulfill your pre-order like closer towards the end. You have to pay the whole thing right away.
No, I don't think so. I think you'll have to pay the whole thing right away. That's what I had to do for the NT Noir, which was $500. That came out, or the pre-orders went out this March. And that's not coming out till November now.
Damn.
And that's a Super NES.
2020
Ryan has like $70,000 sitting in old school gaming.
Where do you get this like old school gaming fund that you keep on tapping into?
It's like you can't go out. You can't go out anymore. So it's like
he's doing illegal things. He's not going to say it.
Like you can't go out, but at the same time, hustling cocaine has been pretty lucrative lately. So what can I say?
There's a lot of people at home who want the cocaine.
I run a few kilos. We're good. I can buy all my gear.
I'm really excited for this thing. It's going to be a cool device. I mean, theoretically, it's going to be a cool device. The specs on it are stupendous. They're sending it out early to developers who work on like things like the Mister.
You could just pretend to be a developer.
I'll try that.
You could put your money into creating a really either becoming a developer or just making a really convincing front of a developer.
Yeah.
Act
like you got a round of investment from people. Be like, so-and-so investors.
Yeah, the investors.
Put out a fake PR. Is this illegal?
This
might be illegal.
You'll love this, Tefty. It's going for $20. You can get a pocket to MIDI in cable.
Okay.
A pocket to analog sync cable. A pocket to MIDI USB-A, and a pocket So there's a bunch of like inputs for MIDI devices and stuff like that.
Well, that's fantastic. Did they give any more info about the DAW?
Not that I saw, to be honest with you. But that's not what I'm mostly interested in.
Obviously,
I just skipped over it.
See, I don't have any of these cartridges. I mean, I would like.
Well, you're not going to need the cartridges.
Yeah, but I definitely like the idea of it, and I'm considering it, especially with the DAW stuff on there. But I don't know how often I would actually use it, especially with the Switch. Yeah. The Switch already kind of gets used, but like if I'm going to use a portable gaming device, it's usually the Switch right now.
Yeah. Well, this thing is a lot like a Switch, but it plays old school games.
Totally. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes. It is cool.
Yeah. And costs about the same too, frankly.
Costs about the same.
I don't know. I'm actually more excited about this than I am about the PS5 and the Xbox 4. To be honest.
That does not surprise me.
I'm not surprised.
From Mr. Yeah.
Not surprised at all. I will say, I have like over the weekend, I had a moment where I was like, maybe I do want to get the Series X. And I was like, what the hell's happening? Is Briar getting to me? Just pre-order everything. Just get it all.
I have entirely too much time to spend like sitting here and looking at Amazon. Like it's not good.
That's Briar's day. You wonder why Briar's not streaming? You could stream your Amazon browsing.
I could, right? 6 hours of looking at HDMI switchers. I think everybody would be enthralled.
Let people live through you. They're like, oh, yeah, add to cart. Absolutely.
Add to cart.
Yeah.
Prime delivery, lock it up. There's only 5 left? Oh, you better order it now.
The best stuff is the stuff that takes like 6 months to get here.
Yeah.
I just got in the mail, I just got a SCART switch.
Of course you did.
Which was more expensive than I'd like to admit.
Why did you get that, Briar? Are you just collecting
now
them?
I've got multiple old school consoles that are hooked up with SCART. I don't want to be like manually plugging and unplugging these things like some kind of heathen.
Yeah, like a Neanderthal.
You could also pretend that you are a retro museum. And maybe people send you retro things for your retro museum.
Huh, I like that.
You could take donations for retro gear.
And developer.
Quite the front.
And Coke dealer.
Yes.
It's a legit front for the coke dealing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you got to launder this cash somehow.
The coke dealer was a legit front for the analog stuff.
Oh man.
So Dusty, you wanted to talk about the Xbox conference.
Well, yeah,
we kind of got a little samurai last week.
Well, we had to get samurai because that game's amazing. I mean, I think it would be it'd be strange if we didn't talk about the Xbox conference because that happened last week.
We may be called PlayStation fanboys if we did not.
Yeah, they had a conference. It definitely had mixed reviews in its reception. The biggest one was Halo Infinite and its reveal, because this is the first time that they actually showed some gameplay. And mixed reactions, you know? I mean, some people are saying...
That looks like the hottest game for the Xbox 360.
Some people are saying that they stayed true to the Halo aesthetic, which I don't know. I don't agree with that. I feel like it looked flat. It looked like the texture maps weren't there. I don't know. It was a very strange presentation because you had the super high detailed rendering of the suit being made, which looked incredible. It looked like all the budget went into that for the graphics.
Yeah, that was all pre-rendered, though.
Yeah, that was all pre-rendered. That's not actually on the console. And we're getting to the point where we're kind of getting used to things being rendered in engine now, right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of you're starting to expect that. And then they dropped the gameplay, and the gameplay looked like it was 5 or 10 years ago of what it should have been in terms of like the look and the feel. Like, it's not just visuals. I felt like animation wise and combat wise, I didn't really see a lot of innovation in it. And like,
there is some cool stuff there though, right? It's like it was running at 60 frames per second. It is more of an open world than what we're used to in Halo. So there is some good stuff. Like you can see far away. There was very, very obvious pop in though. Did you guys see Digital Foundry's video about that demo?
I didn't.
No, I did not.
They took a real close look at the lighting and kind of showed how the lighting could make a big difference for this game. Mm-hmm. And it's something that may not get implemented until later in development. Although we're pretty close to that game coming out, right? Like,
yeah, we're 4 months out.
Away?
3-4 months out.
Not far away.
Yeah.
Like, a decent amount can change in that period, but the fundamentals I wouldn't assume can change.
Yeah.
In 4 months.
Yeah, it was very shocking to be honest, because I'm a Halo fan. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm looking forward to playing the new campaign, even if it is a god awful experience. I'm going to be like, well, I played it. You know, like I'm definitely going to play it. Like, I'm looking forward to actually getting a new Halo installment. But as the first entry into the visuals or the look and style and feel, I felt like it was a bit of a step back, because Halo 4 and 5 I thought actually looked a lot better, and those those are previous entries. This one, it just
didn't sell me an Xbox. That's for damn sure. Like, it didn't say, "Holy shit, you need an Xbox 4. You've lived all this time without one. How could you even make it to this age?"
Yeah. So the whole open world concept, I'm actually looking forward to that. I know some people might be like, "Open world, come on, what are you doing, Halo?" Like, I actually think it's cool that they're doing more of an open map type of style. Also, the map was cool. I thought the map was awesome. And it's great that they're targeting 60 FPS. I appreciate that stuff. But I was definitely expecting more of a leap visually. And not just lighting. I'm talking about an evolution of the game. I don't feel like that's happened with 343. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like their cinematic trailer, their pre-rendered cinematic trailer, had an evolutionary leap in that look. But the gameplay that they showed, that they were developers apparently really passionate about, even though it's like technically an old build, but it apparently took a long time to get all that to line up, just didn't feel like a 2020 release.
No, it wasn't even running on an Xbox. It was running on PC.
It was running on PC.
Yeah, it was running on PC that was apparently similar Series X hardware. And that stuff, like at this point, I don't even care if it was running on a PC, because like the Series X hardware looks like a great PC. Same thing with the PS5 and all that. So, but you have titles getting released on the PS4 that look amazing, like God of War, Last of Us 2. I know Last of Us 2 has like a crap load of lighting baked into it, but it's still like the texture maps in Last of Us 2 are insane. Like the detail, like it's high level when you just look at gameplay specifically of playing through the game. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm definitely going to play Halo Infinite, but as a flagship entry to their not the console because it's going to be on PC, but like their franchise, the Halo or the Microsoft experience. I feel like Halo is a part of the Microsoft experience, and it was a bit of a letdown to see that.
As a way to open your conference, trying to sell Xboxes, I felt like it was a stumble because we just came off of the PlayStation showing Ratchet and Clank, and everybody's like, "Holy smokes!" Like, look at what the PlayStation can do. Look at what this SSD allows for us to do, change it between worlds. There was nothing like that here. Like there was no, not even just Halo. There was no demo there that I said, "Oh wow, this is what the next generation is going to bring us." Right?
Medium looked pretty insane, and also was rendering
Medium
two
did
worlds.
Look pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that trailer.
Yeah, Medium had a pretty high visual fidelity going on, and they were flexing the ability to render both of those instances at the same time as she was going through, and it looked terrifying. Looked like an actual nightmare inducer.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Be like, do you want to go crazy and then think you're being hunted by demons? Play Medium.
That's like my every night dream. No different. Cool. Got to play it.
Yikes.
I get to control it. Fantastic. It's better than normal.
So, they kicked off with Halo Infinite, and I was very much so looking forward to the future of Halo, but I walked away feeling like, I don't know. They're also planning on maintaining and updating Infinite for the lifespan of the franchise now, which that was a big announcement right there. So it's going to get updates.
What's that mean exactly?
Like the story is going to keep on expanding with Halo Infinite. Like chapters are going to be released with it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
they've showed that they
like
support
the Halo.
They've showed that they support their titles. They released the Master Chief Collection. Jeez, how long ago? 6 years ago?
No.
7 years ago? I'm not sure.
What? Yeah, I'd have to look at the timeline. The Master Chief Collection has been
like
a huge
a
debacle.
No, it came out to the PC a year ago. It's been on the console forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've continued to support that in big ways, even bringing like more games to it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Definitely interesting. Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of people have also said about it's technically a current gen game and not a next gen game. And as a consumer and someone who is just looking at like their information and what they're showing, I would just be disappointed about that. Like they're having a new console that's supposed to take advantage of these amazing things, and they're going to be hindered by like the OG Xbox One, the release day Xbox One. It has to run on that. Like, of course, it's going to hold it back.
This is kind of Microsoft's gambit this generation, right? Is they're doing so much right, like Game Pass and all sorts of cool stuff. But this gamble that the games are going to be playable no matter what hardware you have remains to be proven, right? This is the first time like we've ever seen this. We've seen cross-gen games before, for sure. Like, games that came out on PS3 and PS4, and you can tell that the PS4 was just a higher res version of the PS3 game. But I mean, this is really a much more across the board. Like, hey, we're going to put this game out. You can buy it and you can play it on your Xbox One. You can play it on your Xbox 4. If you get Game Pass, you can play it on either of those consoles or a PC. Like, I mean, it's really, they're trying to really like change up the whole paradigm of like, what a generation means and what buying a game means, which I think is interesting, but we'll see if it works out for them, because, when a game is clearly developed for current gen hardware and you're trying to sell next gen hardware, it's a tougher sell, I think.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I definitely didn't walk away feeling like they were trying to sell me a Series X.
No, they don't seem to really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they care to a certain extent, but they're all in on the Xbox Game Pass stuff and Play Anywhere, and like they're really dialing into that.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly interesting and like changes the way that we play games, changes the way that we buy games, you know, games as a subscription as opposed to going out and buying like a $60 retail product or downloading a $60 game off of, you know, whatever service that you're doing, like Steam or PlayStation or the Xbox store. You know, it's a really interesting way to play. I mean, I've had Game Pass for a long time now, and I've been really happy with it because they just put games on it like right away. You know, like the game comes out and they put it on Game Pass, and I'm playing it as part of my subscription, and I don't mind that one bit.
Yeah,
you know?
I played Gears of War. I played the Oris. Like there's been a lot of stuff that's come out on Game Pass. I've been like, oh, I guess I'll try that. I never would have. I never would have played Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah,
put it on Game Pass. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. You know?
Yeah. There's news that PlayStation Plus is getting Fall Guys next month. Actually, tomorrow.
They are. Yeah.
And like, to me, Fall Guys is a game that like I would buy if like we had set up a play date together and we were going to play Fall Guys together. I don't know if I'd buy it for just me, like messing around with.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's coming to PlayStation Plus and it's going to be free to me because I'm a PlayStation Plus member, like now I'm definitely going to try it out. You know, and like that kind of thing, I think is really, you know, it's the was it called Rocket League? Yeah, Rocket League effect, where like having a game come out for free or on a service that makes it feel for free can like just absolutely make a game super popular. Like it did for Rocket League.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Game Pass is going to be very interesting over the next few years because like they already said they have 10 million subscribers, so it's already technically profitable. I would assume, anyways. It's profitable at that point with 10 million subscribers. And if you look at the Netflix model, I mean, Netflix puts huge amounts of money into new shows and movies, like staggering budgets for these Netflix shows. And it's because they are making a ton of money off of those subscriptions and they don't want the content to run dry. So if you look at it from that perspective, like they're like, yeah, the Series X is there for people to have an option to play all that if they need it. But if you already have a PC or if you already have an Xbox One, like they're making it the service, the de facto service for gamers to be able to play all the stuff. The big elephant in the room though is, can they compete ever with the PlayStation or the Sony exclusives? And I don't know. I
don't know either. That's a tough one. I mean, they showed some cool stuff, like as far as like titles that are coming in the far future, like Fable is, you know, really interesting. That Obsidian RPG that
the new Obsidian one.
Obviously everybody's looking for an Obsidian RPG. That's a big deal. But all we got was, you know, title screens, you know.
Yeah, and some cinematics.
And the fact that it's called Fable.
Right.
Yeah.
Not Fable 4, not Fable Infinite. It's just Fable.
Well, I mean,
pretty exciting.
I think we got nothing out of that. I mean, that's a working title, maybe. I don't expect to see that game for years, 3 to 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, I guess it depends.
Obsidian RPG.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what point in the life cycle did they decide to show it to us. Like, are they, you know, polishing up and they will be ready in a year or so, or are they just like, hey, we're doing pretty good, then we've got a lot to go, we're making Fable?
Yeah.
Or is this just an idea that they made a pre-rendered? I mean, they didn't show any gameplay.
No.
So I mean, that makes me think that this thing is just an idea, or you know, it's in development, but they don't have anything to show for it yet.
I'd imagine if it's going to be like a 2022 release, they'd show gameplay 2021.
Yeah.
So they want to get people hyped or excited about stuff coming. Sony does this all the time, though. They'll be like, hey, this cool game's coming.
I remember the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah. 5 years later, we finally have gameplay reveal. Okay. So
that was a long time.
That was a long time.
It's if they're going to compete with Sony's juggernaut of exclusives, then This is gonna be like a decade-long thing because making those games, they don't come out like, in 6 months. They take years of development to make quality games.
I wonder if Sony will make a Game Pass equivalent service.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll change the PlayStation Plus to be more like that, because they obviously offer the monthly free games, but maybe they'll start seeing how successful Xbox and Microsoft is with it, and then try and change it to be more like that. Maybe. If that's, I mean, it all really depends if Xbox doing this Game Pass kind of changes how the gaming industry works and runs. I'm sure if this sets a precedent and this is the new norm, then probably lots of people will start doing it.
Yeah. They're not in a position where they need to. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
lots of people are subscribed to their service already, and they already sell millions of copies of their exclusives within a few days.
That's the kind of thinking that they were doing when they had the PlayStation 2 as the most popular console ever made, and then they released the PlayStation 3.
Yeah. I know, it's dangerous. Yeah, they could I don't foresee them making these like big mistakes to fall, because like they understand that exclusives that are really good sell the console.
Yeah.
They sell the platform.
And they come out with multiples of them a year.
Yeah.
Stuff that the Xbox just can't match. Like going back a few years, God of War, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us. I mean, there's been so many.
Yeah, there's quite a few right now. Like it's a pretty easy recommend if you've not bought a PS4 yet or want to get in on what's available. There's there's 5 or 6 really strong titles right now. There's a couple of them that have moved on to PC or about to move on to PC. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be on PC in a week or two, or August 7th or something like that. And Death Stranding now is officially on PC as well. And I think both of those games were like reasons to own a PS4 before, but now you got a PC version.
But you could go back and if you bought a PlayStation 4 now, you can go back and buy those games for $20.
Yeah, totally. Assuming you don't have a PC though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people that might be picking up a PS4 right now in the life cycle have been on a different platform like Xbox or PC. Then they'd be like, I'll finally play Bloodborne,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for other things from the Xbox conference, there was something else that looked really interesting, which was Everwild.
Yes,
this is
that did look interesting.
It's a brand new IP from Rare, who of course makes Sea of Thieves. We know that they visually make amazing looking stuff, and this trailer looks really good. So
but
we don't
all
really
pre-rendered.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, yeah, but in terms of the art style, I really liked the art style choice that they made. Again, we don't really know much about it, just that it's a brand new world and a new IP with unique and unforgettable experiences.
I think
this was really my biggest problem with this whole conference was there were so many trailers that were pre-rendered. Like, that's all we saw about the game. It's like, I mean, the trailer looks cool, but like no gameplay means basically I don't know anything about this game.
Yeah, but it's from Rare, and they've done some really interesting stuff. And I'm excited.
They've had some stinkers though too.
That's true, but I'm excited to see what they do with it, because like on one end, it's disappointing that they don't know exactly what it is that they're presenting yet. On the other end, Microsoft is embracing the fact that these developers can make some crazy stuff and see what happens with it. Like I appreciate that side of it as well.
Yeah, we don't really know. It seems like a concept. Pete in chat said that Rare has stated since the trailer that they haven't locked in exactly what it is yet officially.
But
apparently it's an adventure game. I guess maybe they know that it's an adventure game, but they just don't know like where they want to take it in terms of adventure games, because an adventure game could be anything.
Sea of Thieves could have been that way too. Sea of Thieves could have been a game where they're like, we don't know if we want it to be like a multiplayer pirate thing or if like a single player experience. Like, you could have seen that gone both ways.
Yeah.
So overall,
I mean, the CG renders look awesome. Like it looked really fun. What was that game where you were playing in the yard? Like you were little people
the
Honey
Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah,
game.
what was the name of that game? Because that game actually had gameplay and it looked kind of fun, and it was made by Obsidian.
Yeah, that's a game that we would play together. A DCP stream.
I see that.
Yeah.
Grounded. That's right. Grounded.
Yeah, we should definitely mark that for whenever it comes out.
Grounded. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it.
Right. Yeah, so overall, the conference wasn't exactly exciting. I felt like PlayStation's conference from their new games was definitely more of a evolution moving forward into next gen with what they were showing. Like you were saying, like Ratchet and Clank really highlighted the SSD stuff.
Yeah,
the Microsoft.
They're trying to sell a new console for sure.
Yeah, Sony is for sure. They definitely are banking on people are going to buy the PS5, and that's their platform. And they want to make it the platform. I don't know how much more PC stuff is going to happen. It does seem like they're embracing it a bit, with Horizon, and there's been rumors of Bloodborne possibly going on PC, which I don't know if it was ever going to happen, or maybe it was fake rumors or something. But they're definitely banking on the PS5 being their next gen experience, and that's it.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I know for sure I'm buying a PS5. I don't know for sure that I'm buying an Xbox 4. I probably am because I usually buy.
Hold up, Briar. What are you going to play in your living room? Did my logical arguments get through to you? And now you're like, oh, yeah, I can just use my PS5 for all those things I said. Throw that out the window, Briar. It's been an expensive
year, Tefty.
Suddenly the Analog Pocket shows up and you're like, well, there goes the Xbox 4.
There's only so many things I can fit under that damn TV.
That's true. This is true. And that PS5 is not going to fit nicely. It's going to be like,
yeah, right. It's going to be
the PS5. The thing looks like it's uncomfortably tall too for a console.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a big boy for sure. I don't know if it's gonna fit in my current entertainment system.
Console gamers might start having to have like a PC style setup for these consoles because they're just turning into PCs at this point.
Yeah, that's
you're gonna need to have a tower place.
It's like a small form factor PC. Small form factor being maybe not so much.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, we haven't had prices yet on these consoles. When do you guys predict that we're going to get these prices?
Oh my god!
I think sometime in August.
The day before they come out.
Yeah, they're like pre-order now for tomorrow release. Like, God, damn!
It just feels like both of them are like, "You gonna show your price? No. You gonna show your price? No.
Yeah. Do you think they're both gonna be the same price? Give me predictions. What do you think these things are gonna cost?
I think
$420.
Oh, nice. Is it $419.99 or $420 even?
$419.99, $420 with taxes. Yes, it's a 1 cent tax.
Impressive! Wow, Sony, how did you do it? I think it's going to be $500 for the PS5.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's digital.
What about the digital one?
I think the digital is going to be $500, and if you want a disc, it's going to be $600.
Oh shit!
I really do, because I think they're phasing out. They probably make more money in general if they just go strictly digital from people buying on the store, and they know the people who really want that will pay the premium.
God damn, $600 though. They put a console up there before and it did not work out well.
Yeah, it is 2020 though.
That's true, and things are going so well now that like.
2020 is just whew.
Just cruising by.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about the Xbox then?
I think the Xbox is also going to be $500.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think 500 is a good spot because I feel like when you get above 500, it feels unreasonable to me. I don't know if it's like that for other people, but past that, it's kind of like you're leaving console prices at this point. But 500 and below feels like it makes more sense.
Yeah, it feels like the target.
500 is a lot, though, man.
That is. I mean, and
that is a lot of money.
That's not the only thing you buy that day, right? Is like you buy the console, then you buy maybe an extra controller. You want a couple of games to play when you bring it home. Yeah, there's always, like you're probably closer to like 800. Like assuming a console is 500, probably closer to 800 by the time you get out the door with sales tax and everything.
Mm-hmm. What about your cocaine connections?
Oh, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up after the show.
Thanks. I'm really looking for a cut.
The cartel doesn't like me to talk about it publicly.
Strict contract.
I'm thinking $500 is going to be the top end. I think that the Xbox will be 500, maybe $549.99. Maybe. I mean, that thing is a monster of a console, right? It's just like packed with hardware.
Yeah, both of them are.
But they also have Lockhart, which they haven't announced yet, which is going to be a cheaper version of that console, right? It's going to be.
What if there's versions with more storage? Oh no.
Oh God.
But I think the PlayStation 5 has to be $499 for the physical and like $449 for the
non-disc.
Maybe $400. Yeah, for the digital. Maybe $400 for the digital.
I think you're dreaming.
I mean, they can take a more of a loss on the digital only version because they know that anybody who buys that can't buy used games. They have to buy the games from the PlayStation Store, which they make like 30% off of each game sold on that store. So like they could take a bigger loss on the hardware because they know that they're going to get it back on the software. Every game you buy has to come through their retail marketplace, and they're taking a cut on that.
Interesting.
That is true.
That is interesting. I think they're banking on demand though, that people are going to want it so much that they're going to like exhaust their supply in the first month easily.
Oh, they're definitely going to do that. Both of them are going to do that. They're both like going to sell out immediately.
That's why I don't think
it's going to be like the first year that we see like what is the demand actually like once they restock, and are we seeing these things on the shelves at Walmart in March?
Well, that's why I don't think they're going to try to make it like financially attractive. I think they're going to get what they think they can get out of it, and try not to burn patronage from their fans. You know, if you make it 600 or more, it's like, okay, Sony, what the hell are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sony's got the PlayStation 3 to look back on. Like they launched a console that was not well received right out of the gate. It sold out at launch for sure, but like over the course of the next year, it became very apparent that these things were too expensive, and Sony was not presenting a good enough value to gamers. And there's not going to be a ton of launch titles for this thing, right? So
yeah,
it may be that it launches and it doesn't sell a ton, but later on, once the games start to roll in and there's a price drop or two and a redesign, of course. I don't know. It's a confusing time without knowing what the price is.
All right, what?
It's hard to even.
I'm going to change it. They're going to have a change of heart. They're going to decide to give back to the gamers. And it's just going to be $299.99.
$299.
Everyone hates gamers. That's not going to happen.
Sony's like, gamers need love. It's hard. It's hard times out there right now. We're gonna throw them a bone. $299.99.
If they release Elden Ring as a launch game, they might make their money back because everyone in the universe will buy Elden Ring, and then whoop, there you go, everything's fine. So yeah, maybe if Elden Ring is a launch title, $299.
Have we heard anything about that game?
No.
I thought it had been pretty well. I thought it had been pretty like that game's two years out still.
It's probably a ways away. I was honestly surprised we even saw like that kind of trailer at E3. I was really surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super surprised to see it because it was still kind of in a rumor mill type of situation before they showed it. So I was super surprised. I don't know. Are Sony showing off more things anytime soon? Do they have another conference coming up?
They definitely have another one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When's that?
So does Xbox. I think it's in August.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they got to announce a price on this thing sometime.
True.
I don't know. Maybe they'll just tweet it out.
We're going to collect tears of anguish or excitement, one way or the other, by the price.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's $600, man, that's a tough nut to crack.
It is
$500. That's a lot of money, man.
It is,
especially in a day where there's record unemployment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 500 is the sweet spot. And I think they know that. If it's over 600,
if they can get the digital version for 400, I think that would be better.
I just don't see it happening. I really don't.
I don't actually think they're gonna come out at all.
Yeah, they're moving it. 2021.
Yeah. 2021.
What's the PS4 Pro right now? Let me look. PS4 Pro price.
I think still like $400.
Yeah, $400.
So
Actually,
it's
gonna be $600.
It's gonna be $700. Weird. Oof.
The 1.84 teraflop PS4 Pro. $400.
Oh my god! They just discontinued the Xbox One X.
So you can't get that anymore? Really?
I did see that.
I have a Relic.
You can probably still find it in store, but they're not making it anymore.
Dude, I have a vintage console.
Mm-hmm. That's right, the collector's edition. They only made it for like a year and a half, right? Or 2 years?
Yeah, not very long at all.
Boy, that is it. With all the confusing messaging that Microsoft has done, that's very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected them to keep that one and get rid of like the S, but I guess the S is so much cheaper than the X that, I mean, I wouldn't buy an S right now for the life of me. Like, there's no way in hell I would buy an Xbox One S right now.
I wouldn't buy a console right now unless your console just broke and you need to play it because you're playing weekly with your friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it plays Nintendo
maybe they never
game
come out
from the cartridge. NES.
Oh, yeah.
If it plays Game Boy Color games, then I'd definitely buy it.
You sold. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of big question marks this fall.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be fun to watch like what happens even after the launch, right? Like over the next year. Like just watching like as the sales numbers come out and like as each console gets like exclusives, like it'll be I don't know. I maybe it's because like I kind of grew up during the Sega versus Nintendo wars of the 16-bit generation.
Mm-hmm.
I've always taken a certain amount of glee in seeing what each company does to try and get one up on the other one, and like they're nowhere near as cutthroat as they were back in the 90s. Like now you've got like each one is like congratulating each other on the launch of a new game or a new console or whatever. It's
before
like,
it was
it's nowhere
like,
near as much fun.
It was doing public roasts on the E3 stage of one another.
Yeah, back in the day, man, they were hardcore.
Yeah.
They did not give a shit. It was fun to watch though.
Yeah, that's another thing too that's happened. There's a lot of people expecting this big fight between the two, and like they're invested. A lot of people are invested in the console war, and I really feel like it's moved on. Like especially with Microsoft.
I feel like almost both of them don't care about each other for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's like, we've got the exclusives, so we're not concerned. Xbox is like, we got the Game Pass, so we're not concerned. So they're getting their money from two very different ideas. One is a very old school, like, we have the exclusive, so get the console to play these games. The other is just trying to kind of reinvent the wheel almoast.
Yeah.
So
and they both are going to get my money, honestly. Because they both have compelling arguments to me. Is the PlayStation has the games I want to play. They have, the next God of War. I thought God of War was one of my favorite games the last, I don't know how long.
It was amazing.
And when the next one comes out, I damn well want to play it. Same with a bunch of their exclusives. And for all of the other games, like if I want to play them, the Game Pass is like a really compelling argument because I don't have to buy like Tefty was saying earlier, is like a game that I'm only kind of 3/4 interested in. I'll give it a shot, but I don't want to spend $60 on it,
Yeah.
Game Pass is so perfect for that. It's just like Netflix. Like I'll watch the first 5 minutes of any movie on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's incredibly compelling from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
And when they get this xCloud thing working with Game Pass, like think of, you don't even have to download it, you can just start playing it. Like, oh, what's this game, and you start playing it immediately.
Yeah.
And then if you really like it, then you can download it and get like the perfect experience. But to just try it out, like the first 5 minutes or the first 20 minutes, xCloud is going to be perfect for that.
Yeah.
If I was a parent, I would be getting an Xbox. over PlayStation, because
the backward compatibility too, right?
That, and you just pay monthly for Game Pass, and your kid can play whatever they want. You don't have to worry about anything. Isn't that crazy?
That is actually
imagine
amazing.
being a kid who gets an Xbox and you're like, you got Game Pass, I can play everything, all the games. I just download it. I don't even need to ask mom. I just download it.
You know what's weird is one of my kids asked for the Game Pass login, which I gave him. Actually, no, I just bought him another one. I bought him his own because it's like $1 a month for like I don't know how long. So yeah, here, have this. Right, it's so cheap, even when it's full price. The other kid doesn't have any interest in it.
Huh? Does the other kid only play Fortnite?
No. Neither one of them play Fortnite, which is weird to me.
Weird.
I mean, calling them kids at this point they're adults. They're 18 years old.
Is the other kid who's not a kid, do they like very specific games? Because I think so think Game Pass is like, I just want to try everything. I'm into a bunch of things. I'm going to just, play a bunch of stuff. But if you are, I like Souls-like games, then, hey, you're just going to play a PlayStation and play those very specific games.
Well, one of them was so into MapleStory that when MapleStory 2, when MapleStory 2 closed down, they sent him a gift basket.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
it came in multiple boxes. Like, it was a lot of stuff.
Thanks for playing our game.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I think that probably rounds out this episode of SideQuest.
It probably does. Eric keeps thinking we're going to talk spoilers next week, but I'm not so confident.
I'm not either.
I'm going to try to finish the story by next Monday. I'm going to try.
Got to follow the birds, Tefty.
I have been. Man, bird is the freaking word all the time. I'm like, oh, burr, and then like the fox shows up.
Have you ever had like you're on your way, like you've got a side quest marked on your map, and you're following the wind to that side quest, and then you see a bird, and you get distracted by the bird, and it just brings you in a roundabout way back to the side quest.
Yes. I have done that.
Yeah, I have.
I think No, I was gonna say that the worst that I've gotten distracted by the bird, and it's really messed me up, is during like missions where you have to search an area, and it's quite a large area, and I'm looking for like flowers or smoke or something, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, cool, I know which way to go. But then a bird shows up, takes me some other direction, and then I'm like, I have no idea where I was gonna go. Absolutely no idea. I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, I half like the birds and I half hate the birds because they're so meandering, and like the field of view is pretty small in the game too. So looking around trying to find the damn bird at times can be annoying. So when a bird shows up, I'm like, do I really want to deal with this bird? No, bird is.
Hey, it gives you some cool exotics. That's how I got my hat to begin the game with.
Yeah,
find cool hats.
Yeah, the hat situation is pretty cool.
You get a chance to go for a skinny dip. Who knows what's going to happen at the end of that bird run.
That's right. Reflect on past, your father, your relationships. It's great. Great meditative experience.
Mm-hmm. Do a little haiku.
Yeah, a little haiku writing. I wrote a really depressing one recently, and I was like, damn.
Me too.
Like
the one with the
really
death
depressing.
one was really bad. I think the final choice for the death haiku was like, ready for the end or something, and I was like, well, I'm picking that, so it's very it was a very edgy haiku.
Like, aren't haikus supposed to enlighten you and like think about the brightness and stuff? Like, nope. Yeah, well, that's the show. SideQuest number 57
complete.
Bing.
Thank you very much for watching and listening and hanging out with us, guys. We really appreciate it. Shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the show, the shows on DCP, and shout out to our Twitch subs and everyone watching live and on YouTube and also the podcast places. We do appreciate it. If you want to find more of me, you can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. I plan on finishing Ghost of Tsushima this week. I do want to play some Destiny though, because there's stuff.
I'm going to play Destiny for 5 minutes today.
5 minutes?
Say, look, I did it. You saw it. I did it. I played it. And then I'm going to go.
No, I was actually thinking about it.
Are you going to change directories too?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about it. Sometimes I miss just hanging out in Destiny. You know what I mean? Like not specifically having anything that I'm trying to get done, but just like the act of like checking off a few things and like it's just like an experience hanging out, you know? I missed that last week.
It's easy to chat too when you're playing Destiny, because
that's why I love Destiny.
Yeah, you don't have to put a whole lot of thought into playing Destiny a lot of the time. You can really focus on the chat window.
Yeah,
which is really nice. I almost 5,000 watts. I forgot to tell you that Rick and Morty got an anime short.
What?
Like an actual legit anime short by, and they're speaking Japanese and fully. Yeah, it's crazy. So go check that out. It's like 8 minutes long. It's really well done. It's really, really cool. I'm going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima Lethal Mode later and probably regretting.
I'm going to watch that because I want to see what Lethal Mode is like.
I'm excited to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. We'll be doing that. Find me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, West 5,000 watts. Also, I think I'm going to play Destiny 1 tomorrow for my birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy early birthday,
by the way.
Thank you.
Are you 21? Did you just turn 21?
21. Again.
You can drink now.
You can drink that sake that you keep finding.
I'm sure that going to your channel tomorrow will be fun too. We'll have to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play some Rift.
Yeah.
Oh, Rift in D1, amazing.
Play some Rift private matches with all the old guns. I'm excited.
Oh, cool. I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on the corner of 27th and Washington, trying to finance my console gaming collection.
Hustling a little something.
Getting a little of that white snow delivered, you know?
It's always a snow day for Briar.
I don't know. I actually don't know any nicknames for cocaine, so.
Yeah, I was actually trying to rack my brain too.
Snowman. Is that a cocaine dealer? The Snowman?
That's my new code name. The Snowman.
The Snowman.
Well, shit. Nose candy. There's a good one.
Nose candy.
Yeah, nose candy. Let's see.
White lady. There's a good one.
I don't know if Brian wants to randomly say powder. I'm slinging white lady. That
Pearl,
seems
a bump.
Look, I got a mister in my pocket and I'm swinging some white lady.
Yeah.
Booger sugar. Can I name the episode Booger Sugar?
Yes, you can.
Oh my god. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. Eric's will be back next week. We'll talk spoilers and Ghost, and obviously DCP Live this week on Thursdays. Bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging.
Bye.
Bye.